Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to JPTV. Today we're going to be talking about getting through a 36-hour fast. That started about 2 hours ago, actually longer than that. I think it started around 6:30. It's 9:30 at night. I'm crashing. I have to go into the office to work tomorrow, so I'll talk to you guys on the way in while I'm drinking my black coffee. I'm not doing a modified alternate day. I'm going through a whole 36 hours of nothing. So we're just having water and black coffee. So I will check in with you guys in the morning. If you're new here to my channel, thank you so much for coming. I hope you choose to subscribe. And then please like it. If you like it and you want to see more of this content, please click the like button. And if you think little kittens are cute, look at her, then press the like button. It's time for some water and coffee. So it's the morning time. As you guys saw, I just weighed in, starting this fast at 162 I don't know, 0.4 or something. You guys just saw it, so you know. I already forgot because I'm not gonna let it bother me. You know how that goes. And then I got some ice water. I'll be adding some Element later. However, I'm just gonna start my morning off with some black coffee, some water, and then I'm gonna go sit down and put on my makeup and chit chat with you guys. Okay, so I thought I would chit chat with you guys while I put on my makeup. So I won't talk the whole time because that'll probably be pretty boring. So I'll just kind of like start and then I'll go into time lapse like when I'm done talking. So the reason why I thought it'd be good to just kind of chit chat today, one, it keeps me distracted during the fast. I think it's important that you keep yourself busy. But two, I thought that it might be a good idea to jump on here. If you haven't been following me for a while, and even if you have, you might not know my full weight loss journey story. And there is a lot I want to talk about, a lot that I feel can be helpful to other people. And I just thought, you know, you guys might want to know just everything, you know. And you may look at me, and I'm not sure if you do, but you may look at me and go like, why do you need to lose weight? You know, some people would die to be 146. I know that. Like, I know that full well because that's how I felt when I was in the 180s. But you know, if you are on a weight loss journey, you probably know what I mean when I say that no matter what weight you're at, it's somewhat of a mental thing. You know, it really is because, you know, I've been struggling with my weight since I was about 23. And I always had like a pretty decent figure. Like I have a really big bum, and I always have. In fact, I want to tell you guys this, but you're probably gonna think I'm crazy for telling you guys. It's actually kind of funny. But in school, they used to call me Big Booty Judy, and it was like this big joke. And to me, it wasn't funny. Like I hated it, and it made me feel very insecure. You know, where now, like, people would love to have a big butt. Like, I know women that get butt implants, and I just think like, why? Like, I don't understand that whole thing. But to each his own, you know, it's your own thing. If you enjoy that, I totally, you know, support you. You know, everything is everybody's own thing. So I get it. But for me, you know, I've just always struggled with my weight since I was young. But not until I was like 23 did I really, you know, get to a really bad place. And when I say bad place, I'm going to kind of tell you guys what I mean by that. So I actually was at my heaviest. I was at 185. And that was right after I had my son, who is now 24. And so I remember after having him, well, I remember during my pregnancy just feeling like, oh my gosh, like I just like gained so much weight. I remember feeling discouraged. And honestly, you know, and comment in the comment box if you can relate to this, if you had morning sickness when you were pregnant. But I had morning, noon, and night sickness. Like it went on, and like it never went away for 4 months. And honestly, the only time I actually felt decent, it's crazy to say this, was when I was eating. You know, I know that, well, maybe it doesn't sound weird to you. It depends on if you had it and you know what I'm talking about. But for me, like the only time I would feel better was when I was eating. Like my stomach wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't feel nauseous. I would eat, it'd feel good. And then, you know, it would go away. So guess what I did? I ate and ate and ate because I felt so sick. So not to ramble on about that, but you know, I ended at the end of that pregnancy, I was at 185. And honestly, like I had never weighed that. I had always, you know, been, I mean, like I said, I struggled with my weight a little bit as a young girl, but the most of it was like, I don't know, maybe I think I got to like 130, you know, and, you know, that's not a big deal, right? But to be 185 when you're someone that's normally 130 and you're 23 years old, like that was devastating for me. So, make a long story short, that went on. So I had him, and then I probably stayed that weight. Let's see, maybe, okay, so I'm thinking back of pictures that we have at Disneyland as a family where after I had lost all the weight, and it looked like my son was probably like 3. So a couple years after I had him, I was hanging out with some friends from church, and one of the ladies was telling me about Weight Watchers, and I guess she had just done Weight Watchers. So if you have ever done Weight Watchers and it worked for you, you know, I get it, because it worked for me. And I, you know, thought that was, you know, all the rave. So we'll go into that in a little bit. But she told me, you know, oh my gosh, like I did Weight Watchers, you know, the great thing about it is you can still eat what you want and you just count your points. And I was like, oh, tell me all about it. Because she had went from like, I think she told me she was a size 10 and she went down to a 4. I mean, I was shocked when I had saw her, because I was like, wait, what in the world? So she was a size 10 and went all the way down to a 4. I think she said in like 2 or 3 months. So I was like, oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. And I'm kind of one of those like people that if I see that it's possible, like and once I'm determined, like I will do it. That's the thing, is like, yeah, it can seem challenging in the moment, but if I see it was possible for someone else, like I want it as well. And I'm guessing a lot of you feel the same way. That's probably why you're watching my video. And I'm grateful that you're here, because I'm hoping that maybe my story will help you. So anyways, did Weight Watchers. I was like serious about it. Like I was focused, determined. You know, I followed the point system. I probably did that for, gosh, I would say 6 weeks, you guys. I went from 185 to 135 in like 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, something crazy. And I'm like, is this the right pencil? Like, maybe, yeah, I just bought this pencil from MAC. It's called Costa Riche. One of the YouTubers I follow, she uses it, and so I've always wanted to try it. Anyhow, so, you know, at that point I was like 25 and I lost, you know, all that weight. So anyways, I was down to 135, but over time I gained it all back. And I'm sure that some of you can relate. It's this yo-yo dieting, you know, it works, then you go back to your regular eating habits, and then, you know, it's just an off and on battle. So after Weight Watchers, I probably stayed at least like in the 150s, 140, 150 for a while. And then I just kept going teetering. And then when I hit 40, it was a whole nother situation. And that's what I'm realizing is that, you know, as I'm watching more and more videos, like it's a thing, you know, and there's nothing we can do about it as women. You know, the only thing we can do is just like fight through it, make better choices, because ultimately, like, it's gonna make menopause just a little bit easier if we're, you know, really focused on making life choices. And that's what kind of has brought me to intermittent fasting. So after hitting my 40s, I really struggled. And again, it's just been a yo-yo off and on. I'll do Weight Watchers, lose it again, and I'm like, okay, like it's going well. You know, and then I just go back to my regular eating, and it's just this constant cycle that, actually I'm gonna line it up here, that I just kind of got sick of. So one day, it was probably in 2015 when I started getting into YouTube, getting into makeup, and I started following Brianna Fox. And if you like makeup and you like watching makeup videos, definitely check out her channel. I'll link it below. I just love Brianna. She's so real and raw, and you know, she's same thing. She teeters with her weight. She's a beautiful girl. I love her so much. So if you ever watch this video, which I doubt it, but anyways, if you ever do, I so appreciate you and your story. It has changed me forever. And so anyway, so I stumbled across her video, and she started doing keto. So she starts talking about keto and talking about how she could eat all her favorite foods. It was a high fat, low carb diet, and that, you know, she still lost weight. And I thought, oh my God, because honestly, my weakness really is like, it's not sweets. It is like very rich foods like sour cream, cream cheese, guacamole, like all the high fatty foods. Like those are just my jam. Like I just love food so much. Total foodie. And I was like, oh my God, I can eat all those things and still lose weight. So that was in 2015. So at that point, I was back up to the high, almost 170. So can you guys see my cats running around? If you can't see them, you probably can hear them. They're crazy. They're chasing each other. And I got to that point again where I was like, all right, I'm serious. Like after watching her video, I was like, I can do this. Like that is my focus. And so I started doing keto. So that was in 2015. And same thing. So it was very similar to Weight Watchers in a sense that like I was diligent. I did not cheat. Like I ate low carb, and within 2 months, let's see, I started in July, and by September, I was already down to like maybe 38. And at my lowest, I got down to like 131. And honestly, at that point, my husband was just not digging it. He's just like, you know, because I am getting older. So he's just like, your face is sunken in. You look too thin, and, you know, please don't lose any more weight. So when he said that, I kind of like started adding carbs back into my diet, because I knew that if I continued on that road, like it could also become an eating disorder. And that's the one thing I also want to say is, honestly, an eating disorder is any unhealthy relationship with food, period. You don't have to be bulimic or anorexic. It's just an unhealthy relationship with food where you allow food to control you instead of you controlling the food. And so I was kind of getting to that place. And so I knew it had worked. So I was like, you know what, I will be, you know, keto for life. If I ever like gain the weight back, I'll always do that. I know it works for me. And that was the case for a while. I would, you know, and I never got back to like the high 160s, but, well, I'm not gonna say never, I eventually did, but not for a while. But whenever I would see myself like starting to like gain weight, I would just go low carb and it would go off. It would come right back off. Okay. So here we are. So 2015 is 2023. I've been doing keto off and on since then, like that long. And over the last 2 years, I've noticed it's kind of stopped working for me. And I couldn't understand why. And honestly, I think it's because, our bodies, get used to a certain way of eating, right? They say that we're supposed to trick our bodies into, thinking we're going to do, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You guys know what I'm trying to say. We want to trick our bodies. We don't want our bodies to think we're going to do the same thing over and over, because when we do that, we start to store fat, right? Because our bodies are like, okay, this person's going to starve themselves. I need to store food, but then when we, our body doesn't know when it's going to get food, then what it starts to do is it starts going after those stored fats and, burning them. And so anyhow, I think what was happening was my body just was getting used to the low carb, and it just wasn't working for me anymore. I'm going to finish these lashes because they take forever, and I'm going to come right back. Okay. Sorry, guys. That just gets too stressful trying to talk and do that at the same time. All right. So back to what I was saying. So it stopped working for me, and I got all the way back up to 165, 166. And honestly, you guys, like, I didn't care. Like, I just kind of let myself go, and I just got so sick because low carb, it really is hard. Like, yeah, although, like, all the low carb stuff is kind of my favorite foods. Like, I work out. I started working out. I got a Peloton, as you guys have seen in some of my videos. And it just got really hard to not have carbs. Like, I just felt like I was hungry all the time. So I was doing intermittent fasting while I was doing keto, because they say doing them both is like key. And I think that that's why I lost a lot of weight. In fact, I know. So I'd already believed in intermittent fasting. But I hadn't really, I was doing it more like while I was doing keto, but not like as a lifestyle, in a sense of like thinking about like why I was doing it, not just for losing weight, but for health reasons. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because, I know for me, like I said, it is a mental journey, right? We can all struggle with our weight and feeling insecure and all those things, but ultimately, really, why does that matter so much to us? Like, I try to ask myself that sometimes, like, because my husband will be like, oh, why do you care? Like, you have me. It's not like you're, trying to date anybody or like move on in your life for, for anything exciting. And I realized over time, like, it's not about that. And I don't know if it's obviously not just for women, because men struggle with their weight, but I almost feel like, when I'm making better choices, even if like I'm not feeling, like dieting, right? And I'm not feeling myself when it comes to like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. I'm like distracted trying to put on my makeup and think. I don't know how women that do makeup videos can sit and like try to think why they're doing it. That's always been a challenge for me. But anyway, I think, I know, I was talking about my husband. It's not even about trying to look good for anybody else. It's how I feel about myself. Knowing, I feel like I see this weird light going across my phone. Anyways, it could just be me. Anyways, I think it's knowing that I'm making better choices. It mentally makes me feel better. Like, even if I'm struggling with my weight, but I'm like, watching what I'm eating, and I'm exercising, and I'm having my time with God. Like, I'm having spiritual revelations and, times of, just connecting with God. I don't struggle with my weight. Like, I can care less about what my weight looks like. But when I'm making bad choices, like I'm eating all the stuff I shouldn't be eating, this is looking a little dark. I don't have much of a tan anymore. That's why I'm trying to mix the two colors. I'm gonna have to lighten it up with powder. But basically, it's a mental thing for me is kind of what I'm getting at here. And so if I'm making better choices, I'm just in a better place mentally. Even if I'm not at my best weight. So that's the point I'm trying to make here, you guys. And, you know, a few months back, so let's see, it is now August. In February, I really started going after really learning about intermittent fasting and really like the benefits of it, because I wanted to do it not just to lose weight, but again, I wanted to do it because I want to be healthy, because I want to have an easier time going through menopause, because it has been challenging. And not only like, you know, am I struggling with my weight during menopause, but my mental state, like, oh my gosh, there's just so much going on. You know, a lot of, I'm not gonna say depression, but just like feelings of like life ending and like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be 50. Like I'm more than halfway through my life, just kind of like that point where I'm thinking about those types of things. And so, you know, I just really thought I've got to get back on the bandwagon here. So as I started watching videos about fasting, I started to realize like, okay, like I know intermittent fasting is good because I did it when I was doing keto. I know that it works. Why not just do that? And then as I've been watching more and more videos and studying on it and reading Fast, Feast, Repeat and other books about it, I've realized that there's a lot of health benefits that come with it. And just to name a few, I'll throw a couple out, you know, when your body goes into autophagy after fasting for so long, and if you've watched any of my other videos, I've talked about this, your body actually your cells start to reform into healthy cells, because our cells actually degrade over time as we get older. And so fasting is really supposed to help that. And we were created to fast. Like when God created us, you know, when creation first happened, you know, they didn't eat all day long. Like they had to hunt for their food. You know, they didn't have food at their fingertips like we have, you know, in the United States. We're like so spoiled. They didn't have that. And so, you know, they would have to hunt for food. And so the book talks a lot about how, you know, they would fast and then they would go out and hunt and then they would feast and then they would do it all over again. And that's why they were never out of weight. I'm trying to find my browser. So I started doing that in February. And I thought, you know what, the health benefits look great. And that's what I'm all about. Like I wasn't even thinking about losing weight, to be honest with you guys. Like I said, I knew if I was making better choices and I was doing stuff that was going to make me more healthier, that I was gonna be happy, whether I lost weight or not. And, you know, losing weight was just a byproduct of it. And so just to give you guys kind of an idea, when I started intermittent fasting in February, I was up to 165. As you saw this morning, I'm now 146. So I actually got all the way down to my lowest was 143. And that was just a couple months ago, I think before I went to Puerto Vallarta. And then I gained weight when I went there. But, you know, that's the thing about fasting and the flexibility of it is that, like, I can do different types of fasts to get myself ready for whatever event is going on, okay? So like right before I left, I did alternate day fasting to get myself down to that 143. So that way I could kind of really enjoy my vacation and not stress and worry about it. And that brings me to today. So I'm sharing all this with you guys to say, like, one thing I have learned just doing fasting since February is that this is something I can stick with. It really truly is, because it's just time restricted eating. Like you're eating what you want, but you're restricting your time. There's so much flexibility with it. If you are watching this and this is your first fasting video and you haven't even tried fasting yet and you're just trying to learn about it, try it. It may not work for you. It may, because that's a thing I also have learned over time, is not everything works for everybody. That's just the bottom line. Like, you know, what works for me might not work for you, period. And we got to be okay with that. We've got to learn to go with the flow. We got to learn our bodies. We got to try different fasts to see what works for us. And honestly, I feel like for me, and I've talked about this before, alternate day fasting works the best for me. It's just, I feel like it's not as sustainable. Like doing this 36-hour fast today, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be hard, and I'm going to struggle through the day because I know myself. And I guess so long for time lapse, you guys. I'm almost done. It took me this long, you know, hey, because I'm old and I have a lot to share. But that has worked for me the most. So what I do is I'll usually do that. Like if I am like preparing for an event or I'm going to go on vacation, I'll do intermittent fasting for like a week or two before, just to kind of get myself ready. So actually that's why I'm doing that today. So, at my office, we are going to be having a kind of like a sales Blitz day tomorrow in our office, and there's going to be food and snacks and goodies, and we're just going to make it an awesome day together. And so I didn't want to be on a fasting schedule tomorrow. I wanted to, because and just so you know, if you don't know much about alternate day fasting, it's you fast one day and then next day you feast. And so I also believe that that's why I weighed in at 146, because yesterday I feasted. I had a feast day, and you know, I ate all day long, and I'm about to start my cycle. So for me, you know, that was, I feel like, why I was at the weight I was this morning. But anyhow, tomorrow's gonna be fun. So I want to eat whatever I want, and that's again what I love about intermittent fasting. So that's my rant, you guys. I hope that it helped one of you. Actually, I'm gonna put my lipstick on. I'll bring that. All right, guys, I was running out of time. I was like, there's no way I had to get finished getting ready. So as you guys can see, I'm fully ready, on my way into the office. So what the point I was really trying to get across, I'm sure you guys got from me, is that weight loss is a journey. And I don't even want to look at it as weight loss. I want to look at it as weight management, you know, a health journey, making sure that we're not adding weight loss into it, because we don't always have to be losing weight. We can't get our mindset there that we always have to be dieting or always losing weight. You know, if fasting's working for you, I want to know what fast you guys are doing. I'm teetering between OMAD and alternate day fasting. And the reason I say OMAD, it's a 4-hour eating window. So, and I do eat more than once, but I kind of look at it like I have an appetizer about an hour before my meal, I have my meal, and then I might have a dessert, and then I close out my eating window. So it's still OMAD to me, but it's a 4-hour eating window. Those seem to work best for me, but I'd love to hear what you guys are doing and what works for you. So I'm heading into the office. I'll keep you guys posted throughout the day on how I'm feeling, and then we will weigh in tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm checking in, guys. It's 10 a.m. I'm actually leaving the office and heading out to a client visit. Sorry for the recording, the way that you guys see it, but there's really nowhere to kind of set up my phone in my car. I need to get one of those, what are those things called? That stick on the window or whatever, that I can, like a dashboard phone holder. Need to buy one of those. Actually, maybe I'll hop on Amazon and do that. But anyways, I'm heading out to some client visits, and I thought I'd let you guys know how I'm feeling. As you can see, I am almost 16 hours fasted right now. 18 hours in, I'll be halfway done. I'm feeling good though. I mean, I feel a little hungry, but I feel like other times when I do alternate day fasting, I feel hungrier. Let's see if I can move mine up. I feel like at this point I usually feel a lot more hungrier, and so yeah, I'm happy about that. But my coworkers were just telling me like, oh, let's get BJ's for lunch, and I was like, I'm fasting today, so that was kind of a bummer. They're gonna pick up food. I'm gonna try not to like watch them. I'll probably like
get on my iPhone and do something on my lunch to keep myself distracted, or maybe go for a walk, although I'm wearing heels right now. So, but otherwise doing good. I'll be working today in the office until 4:30, and then I'm going to be heading home, and I will probably do some working out, probably get on the Peloton. I'll probably play Beat Saber with my son-in-law, and keep myself distracted that way as well. And honestly, like, my plan originally, like I said, was to do a modified alternate day fast, but I just feel like my body needs a break. It needs a break. I was eating like crazy yesterday, and tomorrow is going to be a feast fest. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It's so cool. We kind of set up our office, and I'll show you guys. I'll end this video at the end after I get to the office tomorrow, so you guys can see. We're having like a sales day blitz, and we have our desk decorated with like snacks and like a workout. What do I call it? Like a bandana thingy. It's kind of like that 80s vibe, but we're going with a marathon theme. Since we're going to be doing a sales marathon. So what that means is we're going to be on the phones we're in staffing. So for like 6 hours straight, like that's all we're going to do tomorrow is just sell, get on the phones, talk to companies about what we do, talk about our candidates. And so we have like a starting line when we walk in the office. We have a finishing line when we're walking out of the office, and we put snacks on people's desk. We're also going to do, for lunch, we're gonna have this like round sandwich. I'll show you guys tomorrow. One of my coworkers said it's really, really good, and it feeds a lot of people. So we're gonna have that with like chips, and I'm gonna make some dip that I saw on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, what the heck? Oh my gosh, I'm thinking business right now. It was a dip that I saw on Facebook, and so I'll actually share the recipe in the description box because it is yummy. It's like a taco cheese dip. So I'm gonna make that. We're gonna have chips, and I'm even thinking about, because there's a lot of us, bringing a box of donuts in the morning. So that should just tell you right there what I have to look forward to tomorrow. And so that's why I decided not to do modified alternate day fast. I'm gonna fast for 36 hours straight, and I'm gonna like it. Gosh darn it, I don't know about that. But anyways, I'll check in with you guys later. It's been fun so far. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. All right, everybody, I'm home from work. I didn't get a chance to jump back on in the afternoon, but I got a really bad migraine in the afternoon. I don't even know how I made it through the afternoon. So I don't know if it's from the fasting, because I haven't done a full day's fast in a while, because when I was doing alternate day fasting before I went to Puerto Vallarta, that was probably the last time I did an alternate day fast without a modified meal. And so I'm right now, I think 23 hours fasted. Let me just, I don't have my watch on. It's like 23 hours fasted. I am outside with the cats, taking the new kitten on a walk. I was gonna work out like I mentioned, but my head hurts so bad that won't be happening. So I just took something. I'm making some soup for one of my coworkers, her favorite soup, to take to the office tomorrow. So I'll be making that, and then I'm gonna call it a day, you guys. I'm gonna take some Tylenol PM and go to sleep, because that's how bad my head hurts. So but I pretty much made it through. Now at this point, it gets easier. You know, like when it's this far into the fast, for me it gets easier because I'll go to bed, and then when I wake up I can break my fast. So yeah, this is pretty much what I do on the days that I'm fasting. I go to the office most of the time. I try to plan it when I'm in the office, because I feel like it's easier for me to be distracted than when I'm at home and I want to eat all the snacks. You know, most of the time I'll work out too, but today the headache is just unbearable. So that's it for today, guys. I will chime in the morning, weigh myself in. Let's kind of see what we ended this fast with, and then I'm going to show you guys the setup at my office, what we're eating, just to show you guys what you can prepare for when you're doing intermittent fasting, that you can prepare to have a wonderful day of fun, good food, and all your favorite things. So we will see you guys in the morning.
Okay, it's the next morning. So you guys saw I lost 2 pounds. It's pretty common for me when I do alternate day fasting, which is great. Just got to my office. Remember how I told you guys I was gonna show you how we have it decorated. So I'm actually heading to my car to grab something, and on my way back in, I'll show you guys. Right, so this is the front of my office. So we got a little starting line, which is super cool. On our desks, we have snacks and water bottles. Check that out. Morning. Say hello, Michelle. Say hello. All right, so throughout the day, I'll show you guys all the goodies we're eating, all the fun we're having, so you can see how awesome it is when you do alternate day fasting and have flexibility. See you guys later. Having me my favorite donut. Yeah. This is where it's at right here. All right, I had to bring you guys in here so I can show you all the goods they brought. So one of our HR admins brought all this stuff for us because we are gonna just be on the phones all day trying to find people jobs. So exciting. And then she got us these cute coffee cups with donuts on it with lids. So I'm gonna have myself some coffee. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up today's video. We just finished eating full. I just had a humongous sandwich and some soup. And so I'm gonna close out this eating window because we had a lot of food. Like, I don't need to be eating anymore today. So I'm gonna continue a new fast till tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Probably fast until like 10 or 11 in the morning. So do like an 18-hour fast. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys had fun watching us today. This day at work has been a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I expected. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. I do these types of fasts all the time. Thinking about doing a 72-hour one. So if you guys would like to see that and like kind of what I do to get through it and then what I do to celebrate at the end, then let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming. I hope you choose to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.